You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Oh, hi.
Howdy.
I didn't see you there.
Oh, no. Even though we're sitting right next to each other.
Right next to each other. How you doing, Eric?
Good. How are you, Matthew?
Well, just enjoying the freezing cold. We're supposed to get more snow.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
Super excited about that, actually.
That's going to be a good time. Let me just check something here.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Now the microphones are working.
That's much better than the last time.
Hello, everybody. We did one of these the other day, and we had the wrong setting on, and so it was picking up the microphones built into the camera, which is not as good.
No.
It's not preferable. It didn't sound bad.
No, but it wasn't our normal quality.
Exactly. So here we are redoing what we did the other day. So for those of you who saw this already, the information's basically the same, but the approach to how we tell it might be different. Who knows? Because we kind of just wing this stuff. So
we do.
All right. So this is a State of the Show. And what is the show? What state is the show in? Well, it's doing pretty well. Doing pretty well, all thanks to you guys. And let's see. What did we do since the last State of the Show? Well, in the last State of the Show, we talked about how we were going to be on the, what do you call it? Today Show. And this time around, we are talking about how we were on the Today Show and what it was like. So we had shot it over 2 days, and it was all done, Zoom and all that stuff. So it wasn't like actually, it wasn't like professional TV cameras or anything like that. But anyway, it came out, and I got a lot of good feedback from it. Although we predicted, it didn't really bring much of anything.
No, it wasn't like a huge win, but it was cool to get the exposure anyways.
Yeah, we predicted that it wouldn't really amount to much, and we were correct on that. So if you're looking for lottery numbers or anything like that, let us know. We'll predict them for you. But anyway, so we've been on that, and then 2 days later we announced that Tom Berenger was going to be on the show, and that's where things went better.
I think it really went gangbusters.
Yeah, just the announcement alone got people excited. We got more followers and more, just excitement from the listeners and everything. So then we recorded with Tom and Bo Brinkman, and we have to thank Bo Brinkman because it was because of him that we were able to get Tom on, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I really had a good time doing it. I don't know about you, but...
yeah, I enjoyed it.
I mean, you were sitting here most of the time just observing, and you were playing with the video.
Kind of minding my own business,
Yeah. And but we had a good time with that. Somebody I just saw come in the room who I should acknowledge, going back to the Today Show, is Dina Allende. She is the one who got us on it. So thank you for that, Dina.
Thank you very much, Dina.
Anyway, so Tom Berenger, yeah. So then that came out, and very, very good reception. I'm surprised not because Tom's boring or anything, but because it's a 3-hour interview, and people actually sat for it, and maybe not in one sitting, but they finished it. They got to the end, so that's nice. What do you got? You got a problem there, Eric?
No.
Okay.
If you guys are watching and it looks like we're really jerky, like you're missing frames, it's because you are.
Yeah, but it says no drop frames yet.
No, it does.
No, it doesn't. It says right there. Drop frame 0.
That's from the recording.
Of course.
This is the live stream.
Of course. How many does a live stream have?
About 4,000.
4,000 live streams. Yeah, that's nothing.
So unfortunately, the problem we're having right now is of course, 10 minutes before we started this live stream, our Wi-Fi connection decided to crap out. And so we're running this through the hotspot on my cell phone, which doesn't get great reception.
Yeah.
Here, nothing does. So
you might the visual might freeze up, but the audio should
the audio should be going just fine.
Yeah.
It's the actual video.
So just sit back, relax, and listen. And then this is going to be uploaded on the podcast feed anyway as an audio clip anyway, so it doesn't matter there. Okay, so that's pretty much catching up from where we left off and everything that we've done and all that. Now, what are we looking forward to doing this late winter and into the spring and summer? One of the things is we are, what's the word I'm looking for? Revamping our website. And the website is going to include a page called Tours. And that, of course, will include the free get out of the car tours and all that stuff, but also a new service that we're starting, which is to basically put you in more direct contact or give you more direct access to the guides that have been on the show. These guides we don't pay them to come on the show. They come on the show out of the kindness of their own hearts because they want to help you guys learn about the Battle of Gettysburg, and certainly that gives them some exposure as well. And we often say at the end of our Ask a Guides that if you want to take a tour with any of the guides, send me an email. It was getting to the point where I was getting a good amount of reception on that. People were sending emails, and usually I would just forward it along to the guide, and it would be up to the guide to contact the person and set it up. So now I figure it's just going to be easier if we just have a service where you go online, you go to a website or our website, you go to a certain page and you go, let's say you're coming in on June 23rd. You look on June 23rd and, there's a tour going at 9 o'clock, at 10:30 and at 2. And you pick which one is best for you and you go right there and you book it. Now, you're not going to know who the guide is that's doing the tour, but it's at this early stage, it's going to be guides who have been on the show. If it works well with them, then we're going to offer that service for guides who have not been on the show yet, but might be interested in getting a little more work, because it's been a rough year. 2020 has been a rough year for a lot of people. And the guides are not immune to that, and so we want to help them because we love our guides here at Addressing Gettysburg. And we really think that if you want to come here and take a tour with a guide that is, take a tour of the battlefield, see the battlefield, and learn about the battlefield, you got to do it with a guide. Honestly, I just think that's the way to go. And I don't think many would disagree with that if they've done it. So that'll be one of the things that we're going to offer. And what else is coming up? That was about it, really, I think. That's the big thing, right? I can't remember if there's a second thing or not. I should have written a list.
I don't think so.
So that's pretty much what we're going to get there as far as tours and things like that go. And don't forget, starting in April, we have our Get Out of the Car tours. Those are free, but we are going to ask that you go to the website and just register, just so that we can get a head count. We're not going to charge you for that. Those are totally free. We just want to get a head count just so we have an idea of how many people are actually coming. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about was sponsors. We've picked up some sponsors this year, at the end of 2020, and we're in the works of getting a couple of more. So if you have a business in Gettysburg and you want people to know about it, by all means, let us know that you want to get the word out there. We've made our prices pretty inexpensive. It's going to be cheaper than print, any print that you would get. It's certainly going to be cheaper than radio, and it's going to reach people who are not already here. And I think that is the value in this day and age, where you want to get people who are not here while they're making their plans. And this thing is the way to do it, because we're constantly on that thing. And podcasts are one way to get the word out there. And we love Gettysburg as well as the guides. And we want to help the local businesses because they also were hurting. So far, we've got Plowman Cider, which they have their store on the square, but you can also go to their website and order right from the website, which is very nice. And you get a discount if you use the word Cider Pod and I think that's a 15% discount.
It is,
Yeah, it's a
15% off.
15% off. They deliver to most states, or I should say ship to most states, but you got to check and make sure that your state is one of them. And also, every state has their own rules about that. And the other one is if you're a author or publisher and you're looking to get into audiobooks, Mike Scott Voice, MikeScottVoice.com is available to do that. He's done several books so far, and he's looking to do more, and he particularly likes the Civil War genre, and so he wants to get more Civil War books under his belt. So go to MikeScottVoice.com. Okay. And then look forward for The Historian. They're coming up next. And I have one more that I'm still talking to about it, so they haven't signed on yet, so we won't mention that. What else? Anything else?
I think that's about it. I think we also have figured out the alchemy involved with not dropping frames.
What? Lowering
I put my cell phone in the window over there, and we haven't dropped a frame since, which is nice.
Really?
Yeah. So,
well, maybe we should put the modem up there.
I'm hoping it's not still like super choppy to you guys, but as far as what the system is telling me, we should be just fine right now.
Yeah.
Steve Fan is yawning.
Oh, Steve Fan. It's so tough to keep him entertained.
Well,
he is a discerning gentleman, and he wants his entertainment to be,
Ian Standen from the UK. Greetings. Howdy, Ian.
Oh yeah, he's a patron as well. So is Steve Fan, even though he's yawning. Ricky Fowler, he also is. Let's see if I recognize any other names. Kevin Baginski, he is as well. Dina used to be.
Chris Bottomley says that the video and audio are much better. Thank God. Thank you, Chris.
Well,
for
good
letting
job.
Me know.
Good job, Eric.
I'm glad that the window could be of some service.
Now, here's another thing that we're going to start doing. Once we can get this internet thing down, we're going to start to do our Ask a Guides live on the show or on Facebook and YouTube. Well, I'd like to do Facebook and YouTube, but it depends on the internet, because if we overtax it, then we might not be able to do both at the same time, but we will upload, we'll record all the shows, and whatever one we're not live on, we will upload to the other one. So we'll let you know what that's going to be, but we'll have the Ask a Guides. That will be live. We'll do the State of the Show shows live. And then eventually we're going to get to doing a completely different type of live show where we talk about what's going on in Gettysburg today, so that you're more aware of what might be happening when you come down. Or if you want to come down but you don't know when, maybe you'll hear something on our show and you'll be like, oh, I want to do that. That's the weekend we have to go. So that's the idea there. That's about it. So let me look to see if you guys have anything that you've been saying besides yawning. Okay, so yeah, better now, much better now. Great. Okay. Video not okay. It's basically that. All right.
Fair enough.
That's all I have.
Wait. We've dropped less frames running off of my phone in the window than we did off of the modem. So
that's perfect.
Yeah, that's
great.
Lovely.
Well then, okay.
Cool.
Well, now we know, but that's not going to be a good. That's not a good solution.
No, I mean, not unless we're going to start paying for my cell phone.
Yeah, that's crazy talk. That's crazy. No, but we'll figure something out for that. How about you guys? How are you all doing? Anything new with you? Anything you want to talk about before we get out of here? Anybody have an interesting story or something that I can read so that Steve might wake up, if he's still here?
If.
I was trying to think before if there was anything particularly interesting that I could tell everybody besides what we already did. But
like, I even brought books this time to reference, because the last two times we've done this, people have asked actual questions.
Yeah,
and
yeah, and we said in that last one too, which I guess bears repeating now, since I think everybody is aware that we're not in any right experts on any of this stuff. We're students of the battle, and we're learning, and we figure, we would help other people who are learn with us as we learn by making a show out of it, having guides on and everything like that. We think it's a more interesting way than just sitting and reading a book and trying to commit it all to memory. I don't know about you, Eric, but I'm one of these people that if I see it or hear it, I'll remember it better than when I read it. Are you like that?
To a point. I don't know. I have like weird learning techniques.
Yeah, I do like to read, and you can always get more information there. But I prefer to listen to it because I always have a question, and you can't always ask a book a question. So then you got to remember, what is my question? And then you got to go ask somebody. Yeah. And then that's when it becomes a chore, and I'm not into it. So anyway, that's the idea with this. It's not that we don't know anything. It's just that I just want to make sure that you're not coming to us thinking that we're experts on anything at all. We just know a lot of experts, and we introduce them to you, and that's the idea with that. So
let's take a look at the comments.
Okay. Oh, look at you guys up there. You see? Okay, much better now. Yes, so choppy on my end as well. Yes. Okay, you're going backwards.
Yeah, these are old.
Okay, yeah. Those are from 3 years ago.
Unfortunate. No, I guess they're not.
No, those are
I just
recent.
Thought my
nobody's saying anything.
Yeah, well,
maybe we put everybody else to sleep. It's not just
clearly
Steve.
we did. Yeah. Everybody's just racked out listening to the soothing voices. Addressing Gettysburg.
I did some writing today for the July 1st episode.
Yeah. And
this has been a very arduous task getting started with this script. It's not as
it's not as easy. It's not flowing as well as you thought it would.
No, it's my fault. It's because I'm trying to figure out an artistic way of starting off instead of just getting right to it. I want to I want to visit everybody that's going to be taking part in July 1st. Not everybody but at least everybody that's going to be starting it.
Yeah.
I want to touch base with the civilians. I want to get to know John Reynolds before we get to the battle. I also want to get to know Buford before we get to the battle. And also, I don't want to discount the first shot and all of that jazz. And I want to get the 26th North Carolina in there because I mentioned them at the end of the first one or the previous one, as well as the Iron Brigade. Yep. So there's just a lot of stuff, and it's more of a craftsmanship kind of way. Like, how do I craft that so that it's interesting? But I know once I get it, it'll start to flow out. But it's just once I get over this hurdle, and it's been like a month I've been laboring over this.
Mike Stump says he still owes you a DM, but really enjoyed the Johnston Recon episode. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
And Dina has a question for me, but it's actually for you.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the flag behind me?
Dina wants to know with the flag, the writing on the flag. Those are, maybe you want to go to just your shot, Eric, so it's bigger for everybody.
Sure.
Years ago during the Iraq War, I worked, this is back in New Jersey, I worked for my father's liquor store. And 3 doors down was a coffee shop, and the son of the owners also worked there, and we were around the same age, and so we were kind of buddies. I'd go in and talk to him when I was getting coffee or whatever. And he was getting shipped off to Iraq, so I bought a flag, and I asked him if he would have everybody in his unit sign it, and they did, and that's what it is. So, yeah, everybody signed it there. What does that say? Blood, our sweat, our tears.
Yeah.
That's the reminder.
I actually started doing that.
Our blood, our sweat, our tears?
No, the whole signing the flag deal. And I bought an Iraqi flag, a little one. It was like 2 foot by 1 foot. And I had my roommate sign it, and then nobody else.
Why didn't anybody else do it?
I just didn't ask them to.
Oh.
Yeah, I just never got around to it.
Well, yeah, he did. He did. And the worst part is I don't remember his name.
Oh.
Because,
he's on the flag, isn't he?
He's somewhere on the flag.
Oh, fair enough.
But I don't even remember the family's last name.
Oh.
Yeah, because by the
that was a long time ago.
Well, by the time he got back and brought it over to the store, I had moved down here.
Oh.
So I got it, next time I saw my father or something like that, and I don't know whatever became of him, and so I know it became of my father. I mean the kid. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
would assume that, yeah.
yeah. My father's still around, so he's retired.
Kevin Baginski is looking forward to the Get Out of the Car tours. Awesome. He's going to be here April and October. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. So it's a Baginski sandwich. It's a tour sandwich on Baginski. Now that'll be good. I think April we're gonna do some kind of something. So here's an idea. That what
we might do something in April.
Something might be done
in
April.
Not. We don't know.
Not sure what, but something. No. So April. October. We might have Billy Webster. Billy Webster does the Gary Owen that I play at the end of all the shows. And people really like it, and he rightfully so. He did a good job. I love it, and so I had this idea because everybody was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" Where could I get it? And blah blah blah. So I called Billy a couple of weeks ago, and I said, "Billy, people really like Gary Owen. Why don't we do the same thing you did with Gary Owen?" But we'll do it for a bunch of Civil War songs. I don't think we're the first people to do this. I know we're not the first people to do this. But let's do it anyway, because he's got a pretty cool style, and this is what he does for a living. Like he's a stay-at-home dad, and when he doesn't have to do kid stuff, he's down in his basement making his own albums. So he loved the idea, and he said that normally he doesn't take other people's ideas and do them and I'm the same way. If it's not from me, I can't get into it, and I won't do it well. And he's the same way there. So if it's not his idea, then he can't do it well. But he likes it, and also his wife, who doesn't care a lick about the Civil War or anything like that, he said that he was looking at her playlist, like her recent listens on the treadmill. I guess they have some kind of player or whatever. Yeah. And right at the top there was Gary Owen, his version of it, and he's like, that was the only song of mine that she had on her playlist. So we're going to do that. And I said, do you think we could do this album by July 1st, release it on July 1st of this year? And he says that he thinks he can. And I said, great. So if we could do that, then what I'd like to do is have you come down in October after our tour, and we'll have you play. We'll find a place, we'll set you up, and we'll have you play. And then, you could do a little concert of your versions of these Civil War songs. And he loved that idea. So that's the idea. Hopefully we can pull it off. We'll see. I don't know. I agree with Mike. I thoroughly enjoyed the Johnson Recon episode. Liked that Chris Army made it clear that there was no definitive answer to the question of did he get there. Yeah. People want to have definitive answers to everything, and people want mysteries solved, but doesn't always happen that way.
No, it doesn't. There's a lot of things that we just don't know.
No.
And it's going to be hard to rectify that unless somebody finds some account that was written that's been buried in their grandmother's attic for the last century or so.
Right.
It's gone.
I like Michael Stump calling back to a joke during the show, or depending on what your definition of there is. That's right. Yeah. Oh, speaking of myths and mysteries, Tim Smith is coming on next week. We're going to do a show about myths and mysteries, answering myths and mysteries. It might be, though. It might be a Patreon show. It might not be an Ask a Guide, because we need to get more material for Patreon.
I kind of like that one for an Ask a Guide. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later. But either way, we're going to have Tim come on, because Tim loves busting myths.
He does.
And if you've been listening all the way from the beginning, you remember when Bob Steenstra was on, and Tim would bust a myth, and Bob would just be apoplectic with grief, and because these were stories that he's told over and over and over again. on tours for 30 years, and Tim says, no, it's not true.
Yeah, it's like the 151st PA being the school teachers regiment. There was like maybe
was like
a
4 of
dozen,
them.
if that.
Rob Morrow, looking forward to everything that's coming up and following it virtually. Breaks the monotony of lockdown in Ireland. Gary Owens, one hell of a tune. It is one hell of a tune. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, even Steve Fan agrees. The Patreons need more. The patrons need more.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Steve, seriously, I bet you haven't listened to a Patreon episode in like 6 months. Haven't asked a guide about ghosts. Oh, Kevin.
That's
Kevin.
a fairly interesting idea.
Let's take
not
ghost
necessarily
stories
to like bring in one of the ghost tour people, but like, a bunch of the guides have talked about different ghost tour stories that they've heard.
Yes, this is what I was going to. Yeah, let's get. We won't say which one on the show, but let's get a ghost tour or ghost story book that's popular around town. We'll go through some of the stories, and we'll just pick the history out, and we'll have a guide say yay or nay. Yes, that happened. No, that didn't happen.
And it's going to be revelatory how much of that
it's also going to reveal a lot.
Actually happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. See, have you read any of these books?
I did when I was a kid. Yeah, I thought it was like the bee's knees, man.
Really?
Yeah, I had I had a bunch of those ghost books.
I'm trying to remember.
And
I don't think
the stories
I ever
that I remember reading were just like so over the top.
Like what? Do you remember?
I don't remember offhand. The last time I picked up one of those books was probably pushing 20 years ago now. But just implausible stuff.
Yeah,
implausible.
Yeah.
Like
ghosts,
like blood holes in the floor.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was what we were talking about in the last one, and maybe that would be worth bringing up as a topic here. But Steve,
we're definitely going to bring that up with Tim.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, all right.
Blood holes drilled in the floors.
But let's I just want to say Steve says true, so he hasn't listened to an episode. But good that he's a busy man and he's doing a lot of traveling, so maybe when he travels he's got a backlog of things to listen to. He says, "But I firmly support the cause of addressing Gettysburg," and we thank you for that very much, Steve.
Hurrah.
But yeah, okay. But just have an episode of bad ghost stories. They're all made up anyway. We should maybe do one where we let's make up ghost stories. Like, let's make up our own.
I thought you guys did that for Halloween, or were you guys just
Bob and I did that for Halloween,
telling ones that you had already heard?
No, we made them up. We asked some people to send in their ghost stories, but I think most people knew we were going to mock them, so they didn't do it. And so we had to make up our own. But there's a formula to it,
Sure.
Present a historical fact, and then, say, if it's, the restaurant workers who work in that restaurant there always see some, it's the same old thing. Ectoplasm and whatever.
See, okay, so there's a big difference between Matt and I. Matt does not believe in that at all. And I don't believe in it quite as much as most people do.
Yeah, I'm open to be convinced. Like, if there's a ghost in my face, then I'll reconsider. But until that day, I got to see it to believe it, Let's see, who else? Lane. Is it Lane or Ian? Ian, that's Ian. An I. Okay, Ian. Yeah. I've often wondered that too, Ian. When I see your name on Patreon, I go, "Is that a uppercase L and
a lowercase L?" I don't think anybody starts.
Oh, a lowercase.
No, because an uppercase L would have the little.
No, but isn't there a font that makes them? No, you're right. I'm thinking of eyes. Jesus. Gee, I can't edit that out.
Come on, buddy.
Where's my edit button?
No, it's gone.
Okay, so anyway, have you considered doing episodes on specific parts of the armies, for example, cavalry? Yep. Yes, sir. Yes to all of those. Yes.
Yeah, we have. We just haven't got there yet.
We have not gotten there yet. Okay, it is an I thought so. Okay, Gary Hauser, welcome. Michael Brown, welcome. Alex Snow, wasn't there an official Department of Defense investigation back then? Ghost sighting at Farnsworth Charge area. White horse seen by both sides before Farnsworth Charge.
Never heard of such a thing, and I have a sneaking suspicion I know where it came from.
What? Where?
The books we were just talking about.
Oh.
I don't know, man. I've never heard of that. So if there's like an honest to Jesus resource that you have about that, Alex, please share it. But
Leave Jesus out of this. He's had enough.
All right. This is no place for children.
No, Ian, we'll get to those hopefully in the course of this year. We'll spread them out. Also, more like biographical Ask a Guides about specific people
and specific brigades or
and
regiments
unit Ask a Guides as well. Those seem to be pretty well received when we did them before. So we're going to keep them in. We're going to keep mixing them up so that they're not all the same. Of course, the easiest ones to do are the ones about specific moments in the battle or days of the battle or something like that. Those are the easy ones to just plop out there. But we will definitely have other. Actually, like one of the other ones I think that we have on our list is Stuart's Ride, right, Eric? Is that what have we got up there? Stuart's Ride and what was the other one? Oh, Sykes.
Yeah.
General Sykes. But see, the problem isn't so much whether we want to do these topics, it's finding someone who can speak expertly on those topics. There's plenty of people that we'll talk to who are referred to us by other guides as the person to talk to, but they're not comfortable speaking in front of a microphone in this type of a setting. So they demur and don't do it. So it's a little bit of a game, but we have to, but we do want to get those topics in, and we will eventually get to them. I don't have a plan to stop doing this for years. So, I mean, there's plenty of
there's some that are just
out
like super low hanging fruit, right? Like a whole bunch of people can talk about the 20th Maine and Vincent's Brigade,
right?
I would have thought that there would have been a whole bunch of people who would be able to talk about like the Pennsylvania Reserves, and as it turns out, there's not.
Nice.
Certain units have a whole lot of focus on them, the Iron Brigade, that kind of stuff, and there's so many other units that are here that basically nobody has ever focused their studies on.
I like this idea Ricky Fowler has, POWs. That would be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be a cool one. I've found a whole bunch of individual accounts of guys who were captured here and the process of being taken as a prisoner and what happens to them after the fact.
Looks like my mother and her cousin are having a conversation. For Stuart's Ride, I would recommend Eric Wittenberg. Went on a Stuart's Ride tour with him as the guide a few years ago, and he is great. Yeah, I would love to get Eric Wittenberg on for a number of reasons. I like his books.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get a hold of him, but I'm sure we could find out how.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. But he's not a licensed battlefield guide, is he?
He's not?
Oh, is he?
I thought he was.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I'm wrong. Eric Wittenberg?
I thought so.
He's a licensed town guide, isn't he?
I thought he was a battlefield guide.
Oh, it could be both.
Let's check.
But he has written books. That guides use. So maybe we can make an exception for an Ask a Guide on that, or have him on Patreon. I mean, he would fit more on Patreon as an author.
He would.
Yeah. Hello, Mom. How are you? Steve Fantz says he's a good friend and he can connect us. Well, that's good. Thank you. That would be great, Steve. Steve connected us with Noah Andre Trudeau, and that was a fun interview. I loved that, by the way, Steve. I had such a good time talking to him. I really love his way of writing. Okay, so we got some good. This is the best audience in the world. We've got great.
You just brought something up that I wanted to touch on. I think at some point we might have to start making some exceptions. Well, yeah, that too. Some exceptions for
non-guides.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Because there are legitimately, like Martin Husk was talking about the 111th New York.
Yes.
Right. Super knowledgeable on them.
Yeah.
Not a guide.
Not a guide.
But
wrote a book.
How many guides are
Well, but that's why we have the Patreon stuff, because then we can talk to anyone, and there's,
but I think at some point we're going to hit this roadblock where there are not people that are actual licensed guides who are willing to talk about specific units.
And that may be fine, or maybe so, and that's fine.
That might be something we're going to have to consider.
We have the ones who work with us anyway, and they continue to work with us. And if we say, hey, we want to do one on this, like Charlie said with the 16th Maine, give me some time and I'll put something together. So that's it. They, we'll take their time and put it together there. I don't know. We'll figure something out as the time comes. It's amazing. What's amazing to me is how the things that just come to us.
Sure.
Like things just like come. Hey, you want to do this? Okay.
That's kind of like the whole, the one we're doing with Tim next week.
Yes.
Hello, Martin.
Oh, Martin says hello, and we were just talking about Martin.
Steve Fan says he lives in Columbus, and he gives tours throughout the year. I didn't know that.
I thought he was local.
He was a guide. Waylon, hello.
Waylon.
How you doing?
Hey, girl. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Eric's book on Stewart's Ride is excellent. Very good. Very good. Oh, I have that book actually.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Read it. I own it.
I thought you had it hanging around here at one point.
Yeah. It's home now on my bookshelf. I can't wait until we finally start advertising the for the historian, because we're doing those are going to be live reads. We're not going to pre-record those, and which means we get to talk about. I'm there every week in the used book section.
Sure.
And I got these 2 new bookshelves in the last 2 months, and I'm like, oh man. These are, this is so much space now for books, but I'm almost full.
Yeah, I purposely have to stay out of there because I was like that when, for the first couple of years that I lived here.
I know.
And now I have way more books than I have shelf space for, which is a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Now my sister's in here. Hello, Karen. That's the thing. But the thing is, though, it's just the books that you'll find in the back. Are just especially the really old books with like those canvas covers, or is that canvas? What is that?
I don't know what.
You know what I mean? It's like a threaded type of thing.
Yeah. It's a cloth cover. Yeah,
cloth cover. Yeah, I just sometimes get those for the decoration. I'll put it. I'm on that table behind my couch.
Yeah.
I have a little like metal lamp, and I'll just stack them on either side, and they look cool.
I have a bunch of those books at home.
Somebody gave me a book once. I have to bring it in to Larry over there for the historian and have him look at it, because it was actually taken off of it was taken off of a Yankee at Fairfax courthouse there.
Okay.
And
what is it?
It's a book.
That's not terribly helpful.
About what the hell was it? I can't remember the name of it, but it's something takes place in Africa. There's something in Africa.
Like a novel.
It is no. It's missionary. So it's I guess something about. I think if I recall, the guy who had it was religious, and whatever his denomination was, this is one of their missionaries talking about their experience trying to convert Africans. I think is what it was. But anyway, so it says inside, that it has the original owner's name that he wrote in there, and then underneath it says something like, captured by Major such and such at Fairfield Courthouse. So it's pretty cool. But I don't know. It's probably not worth anything, but a friend of mine gave it to me. He thought it's pretty cool. I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to. What? No.
I'll give you $5.
No, because it was a gift.
Oh, well.
I don't want to give it away or sell it.
I know.
Unless it's worth like tens of thousands of dollars.
It's like Waylon's giving me a couple of books now, and it's those are the ones that don't ever leave the collection, or the ones that you've been gifted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. The ones that you are given.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you feel bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have like the Ken Burns Civil War companion book.
Yeah.
Which is it's basically the script.
Okay.
Because if you read it along with the shows, it's there's minor changes, but it's basically the script.
Fair enough.
And it was given to me as a gift from a cousin years and years ago, and everything. I can't get rid of it though because it was a gift. I'd feel bad.
I've got some that are like that. Not all of them are actually out on the shelves anymore, but I still retain them.
And the thing is, most of the people that give you these gifts don't even remember giving them to you.
Sure.
So it's not like they're going to be like, "Hey, do you ever read that Civil War book I gave?"
Like hopelessly sentimental about something.
Yeah, right. Because your 29th birthday was really important to me.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, sorry. Okay, I think we covered everything we wanted to talk about, and it looks like the audience has lost steam.
Real quick, Gary, if you go ahead and send either Matt or myself an email
About what?
his Patreon experience. You'd asked him about that the last time we were in.
Oh yeah, wait, where does he say anything about that? I don't see that. Just so you know, Facebook will not let me PM you about Patreon. Freud more than a few times. Oh, tried. Okay, Matt at addressinggettysburg.com. Send me an email there.
Waylon's full of steam.
Waylon's full of steam. All right, Waylon, then entertain us.
He's listening in the shower.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Oh, God.
That means you're also typing in the shower then.
Ew.
Well, don't drop your phone.
Yeah. Don't ever ask him to borrow his phone. Okay, it looks like everybody here has been addressed. You guys are all great. I love that you come in. I love talking to you. If you follow us over on Instagram, once in a while we do porch chats if it's warm enough, or couch chats if it's cold enough, or sometimes studio chats if I'm here late enough. And those are fun. It's a fun crowd over there too. They don't always cross over, so there's those are more just literally just chatting with you about whatever. Waylon's sending a selfie.
Yep. I got that.
You can't unread that, Martin says.
I'm sorry, Martin. This one's live. I can't stop everything from happening.
Martin, I really enjoyed your interview over on Patreon a couple weeks ago when we did that. I had a really good time, and I really enjoyed listening to it. Again, I usually don't listen to them once they're edited and up. I don't listen to them because I can't stand listening to myself anymore. But I did listen to that one because I wanted to make sure that there was no information coming out of your mouth that I missed. Because oftentimes, when you host a show, Eric, you ask a question so that the person fills time, and then you look and see what you want to ask next, or you want to read something next or whatever. And in those few moments when you're not paying close attention to what they're saying, you might miss something. And it's not because you're being rude; it's because you have a job to do, and that's it. So,
well, that's like when we're doing this. Like, I spend so much time staring at this monstrosity and trying to figure out how to make it work right that I don't really even hear what's going on around me.
Well, you're not missing much.
Yeah, no, I listen to the episodes afterwards, and I'm like,
oh, I thought you meant now.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, you're not missing much now anyway, even if you don't hear anything. Okay.
All right.
Who's getting snow this week? We're getting 100%.
We are.
Yeah, 100% chance tomorrow, right?
God, I can't wait.
Really?
Yeah, I love this.
You're not done with it?
No, absolutely not.
You're awful.
I'd move to Alaska if I was allowed to.
Well, you know what? Go. And everybody else that loves snow should go there so that we don't have to have winter anymore. The only reason God makes winter here is because of you people that love it. If it was only the people that hate winter, God would say, okay, they're all in Alaska.
Explain all the people living in Texas right now.
Oh, those poor people.
I know.
They don't know what to make of it.
Insane. Yeah.
That is sad. That is. You think
it's
about
like
it.
I looked at a map of the country, and it was by like temperature, like current temperature. Right now. And it's like
it's colder than here.
Yeah, it's like the East Coast and the West Coast up to like Oregon or at a normal temperature, and everything in the middle is just like.
Are we in? Is this a polar vortex? Is that what they're calling it?
I think
is
that's
it one
what
of
it
those?
is, yeah.
So because I saw it on the map, and it just goes, from like
it's basically
the upper. What do they call that? The northwest, the northwest, the northwest, and it just makes this V down to Texas, and then we're kind of like on the fringes of it, which is nice. I was really looking forward to a mild winter so I could go walk on the battlefield more, but it's not happening this year.
No, I might drag you out tomorrow too. I don't know.
Oh, really? Yeah. What? No, in the snow?
Absolutely.
F that.
Oh man,
not going in the snow.
We had fun last time.
When? Yeah, well, we were driving.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to be walking around. In the
I thought you wanted to do snow angels and make snowmen.
No,
okay.
man, I don't get paid for that shit anymore.
Yeah, you got paid for that?
I used to be paid to be like super uncomfortable. We'll talk about it when you're.
Oh, you mean when you were in the Army?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't get paid to be
I thought you meant you were
yeah.
paid to do snow angels and build snowmen.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely not.
Because if that's what you do in the Army,
I did that once
up.
in Iraq, though.
Snowmen?
Yeah, we got snow. 2 of my 3 Iraq deployments, we got snow once. Yeah. So.
Were you in the mountains?
The first time was up north. The second time was like just north of Baghdad.
I didn't know it snowed.
Neither did I. And then all of a sudden, one day, there was like 3 inches of snow on the ground. I was like, oh my God, look at this surprise.
Michael Stump says the USA map is like a hot pocket out of the microwave. Warm on the outside, cold in the middle.
That's what I saw today. It was that meme, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's what
Steve
I hated
Fan says
about
it'll kill the ticks. So absolutely, Steve, I couldn't agree with you anymore.
You know what?
The winter's awesome.
All right, you know what? Okay. You're right, because I had we had a mild winter last year, and I had awful. I don't care about ticks.
Horrible this year.
I've pulled 13 ticks out of me in the month of April alone last year, and I laugh at the ticks.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I just do that really hard, and my immune system rushes right to the bite, and it just kills the Lyme. But remember my allergy issue all year, right? My doctor said it. She's like, that's because we had a mild winter, so it didn't put down all the stuff it's supposed to put down.
Sure.
So that when, whatever. So, yeah, all right. Okay, all right. Maybe winter serves a purpose.
It does.
Okay, maybe it's not just torture. I thought God said, all right, devil, here's the deal. Give me spring, summer, and fall, and I'll give you winter. And the devil's like, all right. And he makes the most of it most times. Make some snow soldiers on the battlefield. I like that, Sarah. That's not a bad idea.
I don't want to lay in the snow. I just want to go look at it.
Chris Bottomley is correct. He says winter gives the best views of the battlefield, and that is true. And I always say that, and that is, one of the reasons why it's not so horrible living here in the winter, because there is something to do to occupy the mind outside if you want to bundle up and everything. And like when we did that Culp's Hill tour with Charlie a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Like that was great. No, I mean, it was great because you could see things that you normally can't, but also having Charlie there, I mean, that's something, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever get the chance to do, and if you're interested in Culp's Hill, and frankly, even if you're not interested in Culp's Hill, you got to get Charlie Fennell to take you out on a Culp's Hill tour. And there's nothing like it. No, really, it's like he's entertaining. Even if you're not, let's say you're a newbie, you're new to all this stuff, you're very casual history buff or Gettysburg buff, and you don't know a lot about it. You don't need to know a lot about it. Charlie makes it entertaining. He makes it interesting. He makes it. He relates to you, and he relates the information he's given to something that you might understand. And honestly, we were out there for 4 hours, and I think he could have gone another 4 if we didn't say, okay, we're hungry. we gotta stop. My toes are falling off because I have frostbite. I wore flip flops.
We were supposed to do like what, a 2-hour tour?
It was supposed to be a 2-hour tour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah, but it was worth it. And
speaking of things you don't often get to see, when you go to Culp's Hill this summer, you're definitely going to be able to see. I don't know if you've got over there yet.
Now, I did, and I wanted to ask you about that. You said that they've started clearing, and I must have had my eyes closed because I was driving on East Confederate Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm looking in the woods. Now, should I have been looking to my left or
yet?
Where? Well, wait. Then I'm going up
Yeah.
to the top, and I'm looking in the woods because you said Forbes Rock, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't see any more than I saw last time.
Oh,
we were
yeah,
there.
no.
Where am I supposed to be looking?
Right there between 78th and 102nd New York and Forbes Rock.
That must have been when I sneezed and my
The
eyes were
stuff
closed.
that's like right up on the, or at least when I was over there a week or so ago, the stuff that's like right up on the breastworks, they haven't really touched yet. But 2 feet inside the breastworks, and it's like leveled.
What?
Yeah.
I'll go check it out tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but when it stops snowing, I'll go check that
make
out.
you go over tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Well, yeah. You take me over
I'll
in
kidnap you.
your Wrangler.
Yeah.
But no, Chris Bottomley is correct. Winter does give the best view, even without the snow. With the snow, here's the thing: with the snow, that makes it easier, or that the snow makes easier. You can have, like for example, we were walking from when we came out of the woods by Lockwood's Brigade there,
Yeah.
and we were walking down the road. I was talking to Donnie, and I pointed to Donnie. I said, "See through the trees up there? You see that white bald hill?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "That's Powers Hill."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh." And then you could look through the trees, and you could see the water tower on Cemetery Hill.
Yeah.
And I said, "That water tower through the trees there, you see it?" And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I said, "That's Cemetery Hill." And then so I'm pointing out all these things that would be hard to see without the snow on the ground to make that contrast.
Be almost impossible to see in the summer.
The tower, in the summer you can't see those
no,
at all.
Absolutely not.
So that's the good thing about the snow and the winter in general. Anywhere you go on the battlefield, you get to see the true lay of the land. Although it's not necessarily the lay of the land it was in 1863, like Pickett's Charge, for example.
Sure.
But you could still see the lay of the land. Whereas when you have tall wheat or corn, it makes it look like everything is level, but it's not.
No,
it's not.
it's definitely
very wavy and so yeah, there are advantages to winter. I just don't like the cold, and I don't like when it gets dark early. But here's the thing I'm noticing as I age, the whole freaking year flies by now. Like when I was a kid, the summer flew by because that was my time, and it went like that. But now the winter, it's the end of February already. We're almost at spring.
Yeah, we are. Very much so.
And I'm thinking 10-year-old me at this point would be like, ugh, like, what do you mean it's already? It's taken forever to get here. Oftentimes you have the field to yourself, Martin says, and he's correct on that as well. I would love to see pics of Culp's Hill progress. Anything been posted anywhere online?
The only thing I've seen is the Park Service did a live stream a week and a half ago.
Okay, did they?
It. Yeah.
That's let's see. Alex Snow just sent us a message. Let me see. I don't know if he wants me to read this or not.
I don't see it.
He was on Patreon. He says, "Love the live talks. My ghost sighting is an error. It wasn't Farnsworth's charge, but before the 20th Maine bayonet. Before the 20th Maine bayonet charge, when I mentioned official ghost sighting, I had read an article. I won't say who because I don't want to. I sent this message in air quotes. Okay." Summary was men of the 20th Maine spread word of a rider who inspired them to victory and Confederate POWs who could corroborate. Stanton sent Colonel Pittenger to investigate and interview eyewitnesses, never determined who the mysterious rider was or even if he existed outside of the minds of the men fighting on Little Round Top. All right, Alex, good one. That's interesting. But it's still a ghost story. And so... Therefore, I take it with a grain of ectoplasm. That's why I have to visit again. Spring or summer. See Culp's Hill post-restoration Round Top before shutdown. Yes. Good. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing is that hopefully the plan is that they'll have Culp's Hill finished by the time or before they start closing down Little Round Top so that you have that to go to. And my hope is that like kind of arbitrarily makes people interested in Culp's Hill again. Yeah. And because it is a very fascinating part of the battle. I mean, there were way more hours spent fighting over that ground than any other part of the battlefield.
Yeah.
So it is about time that it gets its just desserts. And as Charlie likes to point out, the far right regiment, the 137th New York, 137th New York. Who's the right? 137th.
Yeah, Greens Brigade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 137th New York.
They had the same casualty rate as the far left's 20th Maine that gets all the attention.
Identical percentage. What did Charlie say? 32.4% or something.
I believe that's what he said. Yeah. So there's a lot, and that God, that's a Greens Brigade over there. It's amazing that they held on the way they did with them coming around the flank like that and everything. It is a fascinating part of the battlefield that does not get attention enough, and I think hopefully that'll change this year. It was Chamberlain. He caught a wild white horse and mounted up to save the day. Rick Fowler says, but does it even matter? Oh, look at that, Eric. You are influencing people. Nothing matters now.
No, nothing matters.
This is nihilistic history.
Yep.
Maybe we should do a show like that.
Oh my God.
Nihilistic history.
We could go through the whole like layout of the battle, and at the end be like, but none of it actually matters. None of it.
Yeah. And just leave it.
Waylon, it was probably Chamberlain's ego flying around. That's true.
Good one, Willon. Good one.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Thank you so much for the shows, says Richard Snyder. They have been a godsend to me during the pandemic. Best wishes and keep up the great work. Thanks, Richard. That's very nice to read and hear, and I'm glad we could be of help to you.
We'll keep trying.
Yeah, it's very nice to hear, but I don't. I'm still very uncomfortable with praise.
Oh yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
But it's good to hear because it keeps me going. It makes me. You're helping me get over my inability to accept compliments. So thank you for that, Rick. Rich. But yeah, we've had some people say that to us before that it helped get through the shutdowns and all the pandemic and everything. Yeah. So that's good. I'm glad. That makes me feel good.
I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Why do you have to pee? Is that why you're in a hurry to?
No.
Okay. See, what we need to do, we had the internet. That was the problem, right? Here, because we got here early.
Somehow my cell phone hotspot's doing a better job than the actual Wi-Fi.
Maybe we just need to get a separate hotspot. Or just put the...
Oh, no, we're going to try that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But we got here early so that we could be on right at 6, right? What we should do is get here an hour early. So if there's any technical problems, we can get them out. And then that last half hour is spent warming up. Because when we started...
Like physically warming up.
Well,
it's
that
like
too.
Frozen in here all the time.
But I mean warming up the conversation,
Sure.
because the first half hour when Steve Fan was yawning that should have been done a half hour before we started.
Yeah, but that's when we were at like talking about things that we actually wanted to talk about when we came in.
But I was very boring in the way I was talking about it because my mind wasn't moving yet. I wasn't there. I'm telling you. Warm up. What? What is this?
Mike Stump. Way to be slightly better than mediocre.
What?
Thank you.
What is? What is that in reference to?
Us. Just us in general.
Oh, because I can't take compliments.
Yeah, we're like,
okay. That I can take. They're slightly better than mediocre.
Hey, much obliged,
yeah,
man.
thank
much
you.
Obliged. That's
better than the
nicest
average
thing
bear.
anybody's ever said to me.
That's that I can handle. Thanks, Mike. All right, we're gonna get out of here.
All right,
Eric's got to go pee.
I don't have to pee, but
well, I don't want to. Do you have to go get a breath of fresh air?
No, but we are.
I'm.
If you want,
do you want me to continue while you?
That's
I can
up to
keep
you.
talking to people if they want to keep talking, and you can go get a breath of fresh air if you'd like.
Just ignore me. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. All right. So
it's the Matt Show.
Where can you park to visit Wolf's Hill? Never visited. This Sunday's visit for me. Where would you have him park to go to Wolf's Hill?
I don't know. I'd have to look at a map.
Yeah. I that's a good.
I I've never been to Wolfville. Have you?
Isn't that where what's the hill that Neil's Brigade was on?
I don't think that's Wolfville. You're talking about Lost Avenue?
Oh, Wolf Hill. Okay, yeah, I don't know where you park for that. There is somebody told me once that they got there by walking up the middle of Rock Creek, and then they got off Rock Creek and then went up the hill.
Where are all the goddamn...
But there's got to be a better way. No, there's got to be a better way to do that. Let me look. Hold on, I'm gonna look here real quick on the old Google Maps, and I'm gonna get you your answer here. So if you'll bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen, let's see, what can I do to entertain you here?
Tell you what, this might come in handy if the lockdowns continue throughout the winter. Plowman Cider is a proud sponsor of Addressing Gettysburg and wants to offer our listeners the chance to bring Adams County's delicious agricultural countryside to the comfort of your own home this winter.
Okay. It looks like... Okay, Highland Avenue. Yeah, that is where... It's that's kind of where Neil. Not exactly. Okay, no. Well, yeah, sort of is where Neil Avenue is. You got to go to Highland Avenue. Highland Avenue, and there might be a pull off along the way there. I would look it up on Google Earth, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Here's the thing about Highland Avenue. It's like going to I don't know, Hazard County. Like, people don't take first of all, every property has no trespassing signs everywhere. A lot of the front yards are fenced in, and I think it's because the access trail to Lost Avenue is out there, but people don't know where to find it. And so they pull over and just start walking on people's properties into the woods, and they don't like that. So as far as I can see and as far as I know, there isn't a designated parking place for Wolf Hill. But no, yeah, I could be wrong on that. But I can see it. You'll have to look at it and see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so hopefully that answers your question there about Wolf Hill. Okay. I was hoping that while I was looking that up, someone would have come up with something else. But now that I'm here all alone, looking into the cold eye of the camera, I don't know what to talk about. Oh, thank God Eric's back.
Does NPS even own Wolf Hill?
Does anybody own it?
Does NPS?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What does it say on that map? Is it even on there? Is that it down at the bottom there?
It would be up here.
Up there?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
I don't know. That's an old map too.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I don't think so. But okay. Yeah, give it a try, Alex. And I would even call the National Park Service and ask them if they have advice about that, how to access Wolf Hill. Looks like it's a lot of private land. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I don't know that NPS owns really any of it. They might. I don't know. But the maps I'm looking at doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Awesome. Awkward silence. Nice.
All right. So now we can go.
Oh, now that I've come back, cool. Right on.
Yeah. Because I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
I could eat, yeah.
I got a pork roast.
Have you seen the size of me?
Crock pot. But
I could eat.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We might as well go grab something because this might be the last time that we'll be able to leave our houses in the next 2 to 3 months because of the snow coming tomorrow.
Well, I mean, it's
supposed to snow all day?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, don't be such a baby. It's fun. It's nice.
You know what? Talk to my back. Talk to my back.
Oh my God!
You gonna bring your snowblower over?
I don't have one.
Exactly. So you should feel my pain. You should feel my
I
pain.
do, literally.
Yeah,
I do.
That's
I still don't complain about the snow.
You know what? You're one of those people. You're from that generation that doesn't complain. You know, the World War II generation.
That's the one.
We were raised in the Depression. But in all honesty, I agree with Richard. You guys are very, very helpful. Oh, okay, I added a very helpful over the last year. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. We try. But I read that. But I won't read that again. But in all honesty, I agree with Richard. You guys are very helpful over the last year. Chris says, get the onion sup at Dobbins.
Soup.
Oh, soup. That is one of my favorite dishes.
It's because I haven't made my French onion soup for you yet.
No. But this, we've determined, this is not, they don't sell that as French onion soup.
Yeah,
okay. Eric's very upset about French onion.
No, I'm not. It's a very specific thing.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to talk about that.
Okay, all right, but yeah, no, the French onion soup is the best, or their onion soup is the best. I think there with the chunks of meat. It's the chunks of meat. I mean, sometimes it's like little ones. You get a bunch of little ones, and sometimes you just get one big clump of meat, and then a gob of cheese on top of it. Oh, halal.
I like it.
I think the halal boys are out there tonight. We can go get halal.
They are. They have been like every night lately.
Well, because the college kids are back.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, college kids are back. We couldn't get to a full year of peace, but I had mostly a year of peace.
They're like not even outside.
Yeah, they are.
Every time I come through town.
Well, yeah, because during the day, because people can see them.
I see like one or two walking around, and then that's it.
I
don't even think they're necessarily students. I think it's just people that are walking through.
I think they're under some kind of, not regulation. What's the word I'm looking for? Restrictions.
Yeah.
Because of the Rona. But then they come out at night knowing that nobody can see them because the cat's away and mice will play. And so they come out at night and they stand outside my bedroom window at 2 a.m. screaming at each other.
That's
because
awesome.
They're all drunk. Yeah,
that's perfect.
It's great. Thanks, guys. Mason-Dixon Distillery, thanks to you, Matt. I'm a huge fan. Loved it there. Awesome, Richard. Thank you very much. I'm going to make sure that Yanni knows that, or you tell him that next time you're there. Let him know so that he knows associating with us has worked. But they're not. No, I was going to say they're not open tonight, are they? It's Wednesday night.
No.
I was going to say that'd be a
not
good place
tomorrow.
to go. Yeah. So it's either between. What are you in the mood for? Halal's a good choice.
I'm good with anything really.
Halal or French onion. That's pretty good too.
I mean, the only thing I won't do is sheets.
No.
I'm not a fan of sheets food.
No,
it's not my thing.
You know, it's better than Rutter's though. I've
never had Rutter's food.
I had Rutter's the other day. Like it was just like I just had to have something, and that's what was there.
And before we end up deep into the Wawa versus Sheetz argument, Sheetz is definitely the superior
to Wawa.
I just don't really have a thing for gas station food.
Wawa is superior to Quick Check.
I don't know what that is.
Sheetz is superior to Wawa.
I don't know what Quick Check is.
Quick Check is the New Jersey Sheetz. But so is Wawa. But it's North Jersey is Quick Check. South Jersey is Wawa.
I don't know that I've ever been to a Quick Check in North Jersey.
They're there. And they do the same thing, the food and everything. And it's not bad for,
a gas station.
But
gas station.
Wawa beats, not Sheetz, Quick Check. Sheetz, I think, beats them all.
Is there a Haas's? Yeah, there is a Haas's out on York Street. Between Walmart and that McDonald's that's out there.
Ricky Feller says McDonald's. Come on, Ricky. This one here, Hal Grace asks, your thought about the observation towers, Long Street.
Long Street Tower. Are they going to be open? I don't know.
I thought just in general. I like them. I don't like climbing them.
Towers are great.
I don't like climbing them, but once I'm
you
there,
get to the top and catch your breath.
Yeah.
They are nice. Hey, are they going to be open this year? I have no idea.
Probably not.
I think we covered this before, and I don't remember if it was in an episode or one of these things that we did, but I don't really foresee any real change to what NPS was doing last year versus what they're going to do this year.
No, I don't think.
I just don't see that.
I haven't heard of anything. I don't know. But I mean, it doesn't seem that anything else is changing from, state or federal government. No. So I don't see why they would change that. So I don't think they're going to be open, if that's what your question was.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be business as usual. Well, not business as usual, but the same as last year, this year, barring some massive change in government policy. I don't see anything different happening.
Waylon brings up a great point, though.
Royal Farms,
ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. I don't know where Royal Farm, if they're all over the country or what. If it's just this region,
it's just around here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta.
Chicken, man.
Here's what you gotta do, folks. Okay, there are definitely places you want to eat in Gettysburg when you come here and visit, but if you have to schedule an extra day just to fit this meal in, then do it. Down in Littlestown, it's a closer and less pain in the butt drive than it is to go to Hanover. Down in Littlestown, there's a gas station called Royal Farms.
Yep.
And you go in there and you order their world famous and not only world famous, but award-winning world famous fried chicken.
This is some bomb fried chicken.
People love Chick-fil-A. And I love Chick-fil-A, don't get me wrong. I'll go to Chick-fil-A, I'll say, forget the potatoes, just give me 6 sandwiches. But you go to the Royal Farms, and no matter whether you get chicken tenders or you get chicken on the bone, it is the most juicy, tender, succulent chicken you've ever had in your life. I recommend taking an extra blood pressure pill, though, if you have to, because it is salty. But, oh my God. Royal Farm. God bless America.
Fried chicken of all fried chicken.
Oh my God. I mean, it puts the Colonel and Popeye to shame. That chicken.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Let's go to Royal Farms.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go down there.
I haven't been to one in like a year.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been to one. And I just got to make sure I get a gallon of water because I'm going to be thirsty tonight going to bed.
All right. This has to be the last.
Okay.
The last one.
Okay. What's the last one? Mike Stretch. I'd be remiss if I didn't compliment Matt on his heartfelt song style. Heartfelt song styling for the opening of the Valentine's Day episode. Sinatra himself would be most pleased with Matt's rendition of his classic love song, and Eric's running accompaniment and groans and barbs added a nice touch as well. Thank you, Mike. You were the only person that thought that singing was good. Mike sent me an email last night. I was out driving, not just for the hell of it. I was coming back from somewhere, and an email comes in on my phone, and it happened to catch my eye because it was dark, and then the phone lit up, and it was sitting down there on the console, and I see the little banner that comes down to say, you got an email. So it says email from Mike Stretch. Right underneath his name, it said, I almost ran off the road, and then it was all the rest of it was cut off, right? And so I said, oh my God. And I'm thinking to myself, why is he telling me? I'm so far away, I can't help him. So, but still, I got worried, so I called him, and I said, Mike, what? Well, I just saw that you ran off the road. Like, what? I can't read the whole thing because I'm driving. What happened? And he said, no. I was listening to the song, and I almost ran off the road. And I was like, okay.
It was bad, and I do apologize that I couldn't stop that from happening. All right.
It was supposed to be bad, ladies and gentlemen.
And it was.
Okay. Just one.
Yeah. So, we good? You gonna wrap it up?
Yeah, I don't have a song. What song? Gary Owen?
God, you're awful at this.
What? I don't have anything to play
that
music with. Oh. Well, I edit that in. I don't have it here.
I thought you had it on the board.
No, I just have this.
Think outside the bus and let
And I have this.
Think outside the bus.
That's the same thing.
Make it stop.
I could play this horrible song that came loaded.
No, God. Oh.
We're just going to go. The people that listen on the podcast will get Gary on. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We're going to go get some fried chicken, and we will talk to you later. Goodbye now.
Our hearts so stout have got us famed, forsooth 'tis known from whence we came. Wherever we go, they dread the name of Gary Owen in glory. Instead of spa, we'll drink down ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man forget shall go to jail from Gary Owen in glory. Instead of spa, we'll drink down ale and pay the reckoning on the nail.